Stasera abbiamo il piacere di avere Mr. Robert Gillespie, giusto? Presso la sede del Salmon Fly Club di Legnano. Sono numerosi i nostri soci, ce ne sono di belli e di brutti, soprattutto belli. Ce ne sono anche tanti. Una parte sono adesso costruire delle splendide mosche. Adesso può iniziare il suo giusto lavoro. Grazie. Prego.
Okay. Is there anything in particular anyone wants to see?
C'è qualche mosca in particolare che volete vedere o
Quella che prende il salmone.
something that is catching salmon?
The monkey.
The number one.
The monkey.
La monkey.
So tube, yeah, I'll do it after. Let's start off with.
Scimmietta. Chi è che beve il caffè?
We were talking on the way here. We were talking on the way here. We mentioned about a red butt. So I'll start off with a red butt fly. So at least the way we would do it in Ireland, anyway. So there would be a silver tag. And in order to tie the red butt, we would use a light thread, either white or yellow, so that we're not discolouring. So first of all, there would be flat silver, which would be just used as a tag. Then there would be a little bit of red glow bright floss used. So we would double that and tie it back so that we can bring it over. After a couple of drops. Of course, we want the butt to end just above the points of the hook. So go back a few turns. Come forward a few turns. Catch it underneath the thread. And we have to have a look that it's okay. Bring that over the top. And that stops the butt from unraveling. But also we will use a little bit of varnish. So I tie that in. Cut the waste off. Then I use a little bit of ladies' nail varnish over the two bits of the tag. Now from here I can use black thread, so I'll just change. The reason I used the light thread was to not to discolour the tag. I'll just change the thread. Start the black thread. Put in a bit of silver tinsel for the rib. Press that in. And some black floss. So tie them in together. Wind the black floss, stout black floss up towards the front. And touching turns. Then I do one complete turn of tinsel where the tag is. Then about 4 turns. 1, 2, 3, 4 turns for the body. Cut both waist ends off. And now, to make this wing, I would use some silver fox body, some bucktail, and I'll be tying a black hackle. first thing I do, silver fox is very soft and it can wrap around the hook. So if it's a double hook, we usually put in a couple of layers of black bucktail first. Not too much.
You said the name of the display? The name?
Redbud.
Oh, Redbud.
There's green butt, red butt, orange butt. It's basically a stokes tail with a little bit of colour on the, on the butt. That's alright. So, very sparse, few strands of black bucktail on top. The wing length depends where you're fishing. When we use a herring, we normally use it in fast water, so we tie a longish wing. The wing would be approximately twice the shank length of the fly. So just a couple of turns. Won't be cutting it off because I'll show you later the scalpel technique. I use a scalpel and super glue. If I put a blob of super glue on tin foil, I can show you here. It takes a very long time for the super glue to go off. It will stay liquid for a long time. So when we tie a wing, we cut it with a scalpel and super glue the end of it. So first of all, I put a length of bucktail on. It doesn't have to be too long. Put a little bit more on, slightly longer. Just a couple of pinches. Then add some synthetics. Which would be not very much. 3 or 4 strands of pearl crystal flash. Just a couple of turns holds it. A little bit of ripple flash, pearl, or something like this. Make sure the wing is centered. Now I'm going to cut this. So to cut it, I put the bobbin between my knees and apply downward pressure. That means everything's tight. I've freed up both hands. I can cut this with the scalpel. Just make sure I don't cut the thread. Take a blob of super glue and a dubbing needle and touch the cut ends. Just make sure I can see that. So, a couple of turns. So it depends where you're going to put the hackle in. Sometimes you put the hackle in first, but with this type of fly, put the bucktail on, then a hackle, then silver fox over. So, judge the length of the hackle we want. Chinese hackle, normally use genetic hen. It's a little bit longer. I can just get a shorter one. So hackle length is important. It depends on the style you're tying. So I've stripped the waist at the bottom of the hackle, tie it in by a tip section. I only want to get a couple of turns, so I fold the fibres back, bring the bobbin back up. So a couple of turns just to hold the hackle. Cut the waist end. Hold the hackle out to the side. Run the scissors lightly along the hackle. Hold it up by the stub. Pull the fibres back with your finger and thumb. And wind a short hackle 3 or 4 turns, or about 3 turns. So I'm just going to hold the fibres back. And I put a binding turn on it. That's it. Now I'm going to train that down a little bit. Put another turn on. And then I'll use my silver fox. So the bucktail underneath helps to support the fox wing and stop it from wrapping around the hook point. Silver fox body dyed black is very straight, very long, and it's also what I call a weight forward type of profile, because it's thin where you at the base where you tie it in, it's thin and it's thicker along the main part of the strands. So we pull away the under fur, and you have very thin tips, but it's very mobile, soft fur. We just center it, take away the waste, and pinch and loop. Only 2 or 3 turns. I have to make sure the hair is sitting right. The first pinch did not get it. Hold the fibers back. Check that it's tapered. Just want to check that. Crease it a little bit. That's okay. Because we're going to use super glue, we don't have to do many turns. Hold the bobbin between my knees again, apply downward pressure, and cut the hair with the scalpel. When it's cut, put a little bit of super glue on the cut ends. Then bind it tightly. So I whip finish by hand, and a few turns over the super glue will do.